All right, so number 3 in your review is going to be, ask you to sketch a graph of a function whose domain is in the set of real numbers and whose range is in the set of real numbers less than or equal to 3. So what I'm going to do from the beginning here, I'm just going to write the domain and range out just so we can see, and that might help us actually come up with something that looks and fits what our domain range stipulations are. So the domain is the set of real numbers, so that's x is a part of the real numbers. Okay, and the range says it's y(er) such that y is less than or equal to 3. Oops. Okay, and so to me, there's a couple graphs that when I look at the domain, there's no restrictions on the domain. The one that I can think of, the two that I can think of would be y is equal to x squared, which you've seen a bunch. And the other one would be y is equal to the absolute value of x. Okay, so those are probably the two easiest ones, I think, that we've studied for this year so far. So I think either of those would do in terms of the domain. And the range says that y has to be less than or equal to positive 3. For either of those two graphs, you remember, for the quadratic is going to look like this, okay? And the absolute value graph is going to look like, the absolute value graph is going to look like this. Right, so they both open up. The only way for the graph to have y values less than 3 would be as if the graph was opening downward, right? So if I drew my sketch for this particular question, it looks something like this. Either of these two graphs, it would have to be opening downward where the vertex would be at a maximum of positive 3. So something, it could be anywhere, but we'll draw this. Okay, so that could be a potential. That would be something like, the graph of that would be y equals negative x squared plus 3. Okay, where this is x and that's y. Okay, so that's a potential function that fits these conditions.